Hiya folks, JD here, and welcome back to our Minecraft week, where we're continuing to look at my build. If you haven't seen any of my other videos on Minecraft, or just in general, don't forget you can find them all on my channel, as well as if you want to have a look in the chapters, if there's a specific place that you just want to see in this video, and if you don't want to watch it all. Alright then, let's get started. So, as we have with our other videos, let's start at the beginning with Crossrail. Crossrail will take us from platform 1A to platform 1B. And then today we're going to jump on the black line, which I'm hoping is going to take us right the way where we want to go. So let's just check. So we're going to go on the black line, which will take us through to the wood line. So we're going to jump off there. There's no stop because it's mine access only. And then the red line will take us through to the blue line. And then hopefully you can have a sneak peek at the high-speed yellow line that I am making. So let's jump on the black line. There's a lot of start and stops with this one. It's a very, very, very long line. It's got a lot of disused stations. I'm going to show you them all. So as we start off nice and slow as you would in a normal train. And then gather a bit of speed before we come to our first platform, which is not in use, as you can see there. So I've got some black coal blocks on the wall there just to denote that you are travelling on the black line. Here are some platforms that I've made, just disused platforms from a station that is no longer in use. So it's sort of from a bygone era. And I quite like it. It's a bit spooky, it's a bit eerie. I've got a few other things to do with it, but I quite like the idea, as you would have on a normal train line when you're just travelling either overground or underground, and you come across a place that says platform not in use, or you knew there was a platform there. There's something a bit spooky, something a bit eerie about it, and that's what I wanted to capture here. So I've got my lanterns hanging down. I've used cobble slate bricks, or deep slate bricks, that's it, deep slate bricks, in order to make this lovely, lovely effect. It looks quite retro, looks quite vintage, looks quite nice. You could almost imagine people standing under there waiting for a train to come and pick them up. I'm not going to then jump in the cart because in 2 seconds down here we have Station 1 Platform 3B, which is mine access only. So here I've just got a furnace, I've got a chest, and I've got my crafting table. So in here I just have some things, some supplies, just in case I need them and I haven't got one, so it saves me going to the surface, having to mine for other things. I can just come here and hopefully find something that I need. That brings us onto the wood line. So this is it. This is Station 1 Platform 3C, mine access only. So this line hasn't opened yet. This is just for extra mining. So I've got a huge mine that I'll go into a lot more depth with, pardon the pun. And I have gone into in a lot of depth in the overview video a few days ago. When you come through the wood line, you enter into this area here, which is split into mine access 1, mine access 2, and mine access 3. So these are incomplete currently, but I am going to finish them. And also these buffers are going to be turned into oak, the same as that, to denote mine access. I did have an issue in mine access 2 the other day where I had an enderman stuck in there and he's been obviously nicking blocks. So I had to kill him, unfortunately. I do like the enderman, but unfortunately I couldn't get past him because he's too tall to get past these lanterns. So he was walking in between the lanterns and obviously making a hell of a mess, hell of a noise. So, as I've done with a lot of my, all of my train tunnels, I've tried to add in different stone to try and make it look a little bit more realistic, like you would have in a normal tunnel. This train tunnel comes up to another mine of mine, which is then I've covered in glass. I have got ideas for this. Oh, look, an enderman left a block there for us. So the ideas I've got here is to have an automated line like I've got upstairs, an automated line just running back and forth here and running back and forth here. I like the sound of those automated lines because it adds a little bit, it's something a little bit eerie when you see a train with nobody riding on it. The train will come up to here, so it'll push its way down, and up here I might just have a cart with a bit of rail, like a little museum piece perhaps. Keep on going. This is where the train line stops currently. And then as you can see, it is quite long. It keeps on going. This particular mine has been quite fruitful. I have found quite a lot of iron and coal in here. Currently, what layer are we at currently here? Give me a second. We are currently at layer 57. So it's still possible to find gold here, possible to find a lot of different elements. This opens up to here. And that's basically all it is currently. I have got, maybe I'll do a loop-the-loop where maybe it'll connect if I get rid of this wall and maybe it'll go back down. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but all it's going to be, it's not going to be very impressive. As it states, the wood line is purely for mine access only, and that's exactly what this is going to be, purely mine access only. So if we make our way back down, hello, that didn't happen on the way up, did it? No, it didn't. That's quite peculiar. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's quite interesting. I think I'll have to figure out what happened there, but still. So I'm going to have something here, automated lines either side. Just adds that little spooky factor. And again, it's just going to be a little cart to run around and just drive around on. So we're going to come out of mine access 1 and we're going to go into mine access 2 where the Enderman was. So that was mine access 1. Mine access 2 is here. This is even shorter. I think it just comes to the end here, I believe. That's it. And that's as far as it goes currently. I might leave it like that and just have the cart moving back and forth on its own. I might do that. Again, adds for great atmospherics, and you never know what's going to be sat in the cart if a zombie's going to be in it. So another thing to mention at this point as well, mine access 1, if you notice, went off to the left. Mine access 2 is straight on, and mine access 3 goes to the right. And the whole idea being that you should never come across each other's mine. Whether or not I change that, I do like the idea of making a glass mine somewhere where I can see carts going over each other. I might do that. But that's the wood line anyway. Quite basic, but also a necessity because you need mines in this game. If you can't mine anything, you can't craft anything. So that was Station 1, Platform 3C. Now we're going to jump back in the cart for a little way. We're going to go past one of the mines that you saw a minute ago from mine access 1, which is this one here. And we've got a little disused platform there. But then I'm going to stop at this platform, which is quite a lot of fun. So I do like the fact that when I jump off the carts, I do get onto the platform. And then, nice little painting, platform not in use. Still on the black line. I haven't used coal this time because I ran out of coal for a little period. So I've gone on to using some polished deep slate. And again, for nearest platform, follow black line. So the black line then comes down here and follows on the floor. Before we do that, let's just keep our eyes here for a second and see what passes. That is my automated train in front. And then behind the glass, that is the copper line that we went up to see the Treetops farm in a previous video. I quite like that. And then if we follow the black line, true enough, we get to another station here, the cross section between the black line and the red line. When crossing, watch for active trains. So that one's not active, so I'm fine to cross. So then if we get back in here and then pull up into the station, or not. Come on, you little cart. Let's go this way. That's better. I think I must have nudged it when I got in originally and it kept on moving backwards. Right, down we go. So now we're going to pull into the black line station. So now we've just got to check that the red line is going to take us where we want to. So the black line has brought us from Crossrail and the red line is now going to take us to the treehouse, which is the blue line. Got a little chest here again. Not a lot in there, just some things. Again, it's just in case factor more than anything. So out of here I go, and now into the red line. Fun fact, the red line what used to be the black line. I have added in some redstone blocks, as you can see on the right and the left periodically. that just denote that you're riding on the red line. So if I get off here and show you this in a little bit more detail, I've added in to different areas of my mine. That goes into a different mine down there. And for a while I had a zombie stuck in there, which was great when I walked past here. And then at the back here, you can see there's an AI generated mine at the bottom there. And then there was a huge railway line that ran across there, but I took all the rails for up here. But I like doing this with the glass bricks. I like looking down and seeing the other mines. And again, I might add an automated line to this when I've got enough gold for enough redstone powered lines, just to have a cart moving around on its own. So back up, we're going to jump on the cart again. There's a little bit of a powered redstone track just ahead, so it shouldn't be too long until we've picked up a bit of speed. Again, lanterns to denote that we're on a train track. And again, I've tried to use different colour stones. Sort of randomly, I haven't gone for a pattern, or at least I don't think I have, where you should get different coloured, different types of rock. Try to make things a little bit more natural. And I've got a staircase I've built going up there. Some redstone to denote that you're on the red line. And again, got some coal in the corner there, just to break things up a bit, just to give you something to look at when you're travelling, because this is an awfully long line. Originally, the red line stopped on a bridge that we're just about to get to. If it's daylight, I'll walk across it and show you. So all of this used to be the black line, but I thought it was far too long, considering the black line stops at 4 other stations as well. Now here, I started mining through here, and I came across this. I almost fell in there. Look how vast that is. So I'm going to, at some point, go into this. I'm going to make a video purely on me getting into here, because I think, look how deep it is. I think down there we're going to have some really fascinating things to mine. So, wrong way again. So you can hear the mobs down there. You can hear the skeletons rattling. It just said in the subtitles, and the zombies moaning. There's obviously a hive of activity in there, and I want to see what's down there. Oh, perfect. Daylight is coming up. So this is where, oh God, I didn't expect him to be there. How the hell did he get up there? How did he get up there? I've built all that up so that they can't get up there. I had no end of issues. Yeah, it's all built up. I had no end of issues here not years ago. It feels like that. Ages ago. Where here, you see the floor. I've added in some stone because a creeper, like him right there, came across here and blew a massive hole in the side of the wall. I didn't have all this stone at the time, so it actually destroyed my train track. So I've just tried to build the walls up as much as I can. So I've removed all the dirt from the inside. So I've got some cobblestone here and go running around the whole width of it. And then I've got some actual stone around the whole length of it as well. So as I was building my train track, my red line used to start a little way up here. So the black line used to come, see where that those black squares are there, black blocks? That's where the red line used to start, and all that was a huge station. But what I decided to do was half the black line and extend the red line out all down here and into here, into all the places that we've travelled. I found it quite fascinating that when I was building this track, I could see the pillagers' hut here. So I decided to leave it, because now and again you get pillagers up here just watching you. It's quite spooky, quite creepy, but I do quite like it. So we're going to slowly make our way towards where the redstone terminal used to be. I might put it back. It wasn't overly ornate, but it did add a nice little texture. It did add a nice little feature, abandoned station sort of thing. And this is where it was here on the deep slate bricks. I'm glad I made the adjustments I did, though, to half the black line and to make the red line bigger. Again, I love using deep slate, and this is deep slate bricks. If I get off here, there's a little hut. You should be able to see it from here. that I've made there. Tiny little hut, and around the front there are some torches. I'm going back, if I remember. I'll show you. That's a hut as I was building this train track above ground. In the night, I forgot, a lot like when I was doing the lava line, I forgot the dark equal baddies, and I had to build that quickly so I could stay safe in the night. Because as soon as you try and build anything like this, anybody who's played the game on survival will know, skeletons just fire arrows at you constantly, and you can't, you're getting knocked off left, right and centre, and it's no fun. So I thought I'd hide up until the morning. All this as well, all of this that you see, all these blocks where the cobblestone and stone are, all this was sand. So I've mined all that, and it goes down about 4 or 5 blocks as well. And I've mined it all, a lot of it, for the glass for this terminal and for my my treehouse. In a previous episode, when we were looking at the treetops farm, which should be coming into view soon, looks a bit misty this day, but I said that the smoke from the chimney added a great effect. Well, there's 2 you can see there, and I really think having a campfire set inside those chimneys really does add a lovely little angle. And then across a stone and wooden bridge again. There's my treetops, my farm. You can just see the smoke coming up above that chimney too. So just give you an idea, my farm, over the other side of that farm, that's where we've just come from. And we've travelled the whole length of here underground until we've come out of that building there. And in the red line, it was just a straight track. There was no left and right turns up until we got out of there. So you can see just how long and how hard and how time consuming it was to make that track. But now that it's built, I absolutely love it. So if we just make our way towards the terminal, this is, I've tried to make this a little bit different, a little bit more modern. So you can see there are the red line that we've travelled on now. There's red line on the ceiling, which is made from redstone, and then the blue line, which is the treehouse line, is lapis lazuli. So I've just made that into a block as well. And if you stand in the middle platform, it mirrors perfectly. So you get the blue above the blue, the red above the red, and it looks really nice. Up above, again, got another lightning discharge rod. Very useful. Not that it would really affect this, but I've got one on top of my treehouse there because I don't want things randomly catching fire. I don't think I ever have in this game, actually, but still, I think somebody wrote about it once. I don't really want to take a chance, so I thought I'd put it up there. So now, we're at the red line. We've come off the black line. So we've come from Crossrail onto the black line. Now we're at the red line. The blue line, which is behind me here, will take me to the treehouse, where we'll go in a second. And then we've got the yellow line, which is just under here, underneath this trapdoor. We'll come to that last. So I've made this a little bit nice. I've added in some deep slate. I've added in some deep slate bricks, some usual cobbled deep slate, and I think there's some polished deep slate around here as well. I like glass, so I like to be able to see outside to see if it's day or night, so I've added that. Again, the lanterns denoting that it's a railway. And I've added a little trapdoor here with a ladder, just so that I can get down and around for when I was mining all this sand down here. And I did that without, obviously without dying, which is really good, because I could swim and then run up here and get in there and I'd be safe. And I used to do that quite often. Look, an Enderman's been there again and put a block there. They are funny little things, aren't they? And then inside here, a lot like when I was speaking about treetops, I've got some furnaces. I've got some blast furnaces too, because I have got down here, as well as the yellow line, I have got a mine. So anything that I use to mine, anything that I need, to use, like iron or gold, I'll bring it up here, I'll stick it in the blast furnace while I mine some more. Then I've got just 3 standard furnaces there as well. My crafting table, don't leave home without it. And again, inside here, I've got just various things. So from yellow dye to phantom membrane from when I killed a phantom, to 5 furnaces, to some copper blocks. So every single thing in here. I haven't got a lot of wood in there, have I? So let's add in 64 planks of that. And I got some tools as well. I got a wooden axe, just in case I need it. I've got a diamond pickaxe as well, and some lightning rods. So let's go and let's have a little look at the treehouse. I had a look at this the other day with you in an overview video. Today, I'll talk about the construction. These, I wanted a glass railway for a couple of reasons. One, I could see down underneath it, which you can do quite nicely. But also because I was intrigued to see whether a glass block would hold a railway. In essence, I now realise a block is a block, no matter what it is. But still, I think it's really quite nice. And also, I wanted to be able to see everything underneath me as well, because I have got plans to build things under here. Let's just talk a little bit about what my plan was here as well, because obviously we are in the air. Trees don't grow in the air. So I put in some 6 blocks of dirt in 4 places, and then grew 2 oaks in the front and 2 spruces at the back. The oaks at the front are normally a little bit squatter, they're normally a bit fatter, so I thought that would make a good area to bring the treehouse down into, whereas the spruces are a little bit taller, so I could build that up into more of a back end high treehouse. So if I come here, you can sort of see it's quite higgledy-piggledy. I've used half-height blocks for everything almost, and the reason I've done that is because I wanted to give an effect of just having to put it up in a tree. I like higgledy-piggledy. I didn't necessarily want it very manicured. I didn't want it to look like it was built there, more so that it has grown there. I know that's not the case, but I wanted it to try and look like it. So I've left these extra blocks in here, and I've left these extra blocks in here and a bit of dirt there. I've missed out blocks from here, just again to try and give it a bit more of a natural feel. So again, with the glass, let the light in. Also, if any mobs do decide to attack me, then that's not going to end very well for them. I've used a couple of different colour fences, same as I have a couple of different colour planks. I think I'm using oak for most of this, but you will find now and again the colour does change. I quite like that. I looked at it at the time and I thought, oh, it looks a bit messy. But I thought going from a light wood like a birch, like this is here, that particular tree, going into an oak, which is that particular tree, I really quite like it. And I thought, actually, I'm going to keep it. I did have plans to do the stairs in the same half and half, but I just haven't got around to doing it. So here's the first part of the house. So as you walk in, you have some open areas. You have a massive spruce tree just sticking up there. Another spruce tree here also. I've got some lanterns which denote that you are attached to a railway line. In and around here, I've got, again, using some fencing. Again, you can see what I've done here. So I've got rid of this block here to make the fence stop. Again, making it look a bit more higgledy-piggledy. You can see how not straight all of this is. And that is exactly what I wanted to go for. I wanted to go for a bit of a mess, a bit of higgledy-piggledy, a little bit sort of all over the place, like it's grown up and you've had to repair it now and again, and your repairs are a little bit shonky, you know what I mean? Haven't been done particularly well, but I think it gives a really good effect. So you can see the difference here. These 2 spruce trees are huge and they go up through many floors. This one oak tree is quite small and has barely, bear in mind all this was open, he's barely grown at all. Couple of stairs, lantern again. Now we're coming into more of a glassy area. I wanted to sort of, as you were coming down into a different area, I wanted to be able to look at the sun, look at the sunset, and look at it through glass. Adds a different area of perspective, I think. Again, here's another oak tree. It's a bit more developed than that. But again, you wouldn't say, it's not going through the 3rd floor. And then I've grown a small oak tree here, just by giving it a tiny patch of land. If we go up the stairs, got some lapis lazuli blocks inside here. Again, there's the top of one of the spruce trees. There's the other one. You can see he's really, if I hadn't have put that glass there, he would have kept on growing. But I wanted to have this cross effect, which is what I've gone for with both of the trees. I haven't done it down there as such, but I really wanted to have that cross effect into the floor, just because I wanted it to be uniform. I didn't want to have a square block and something else. I wanted it to look as if it was manicured that way. So cross up into the treetop garden, keeping a lookout for phantoms. And one oak tree. and 2 silver birch. Excuse me. And 2 silver birch. I did have lanterns here, but I found that light was a bit too dim. I wanted this to be really bright, like you've just walked out onto a terrace. So that's why I've changed it for the torches rather than the lanterns. The trees are really tall. You'll see how tall they are when we get on the roof in the next area. So come back in. Again, 2 lanterns. As you're walking in, I've got a nice little secret-ish area. I say ish because, well, there's glass floor so anybody can see you're up here. I've got a bed, I've got a chest, and inside here I've got some stuff. Again, just trying to make sure I don't run out of anything at any time. I've got 2 barrels, which are empty. And again, 2 furnaces, which are not empty. Very nice. And my crafting table. Don't leave home without it. And I got my bed. So the whole idea being that I can set a respawn point at any part that I go to. Sleep through the night if I need to, so that in the day I can then go and come up to a beautiful sunrise, watch everything beautifully burn. There's nice. And then I can see my lightning rod and I can see my chimney. But there you are. Here is the terrace garden. You can see just how tall these trees are. And if I get enough time, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a path over to here. And I'd like to make another treehouse, but have it coming out over to those trees there. So to really sort of bring these 2 areas, this floating area I've created and this natural area here, bring them both together. And then, of course, you can see the sea down there. I'm going to build a little train. I said to you downstairs when I was looking through this area here, down through the glass, I said I wanted to build out from underneath. What I want to do is I want to add in a little railway that takes me through. I just pointed at the screen. There's no point. You can't see. Take it through to here, which is where my boat is going to be. And that then can take me out to different lands. So that is the top of my treehouse. It has taken a lot to build this. How much, you ask? Well, put it this way. All of this area here was full of trees. And now it's not. I've put some back, but I haven't had a chance to plant all of them back yet. But all of this down here was all trees. All of this was all trees. And I have literally used, I don't know how many. I could have a rough estimate and I could say that I've used about 60 trees to build this. I've used half-height blocks of oak all the way up until I get to here. Then I have used complete blocks so that I could build proper rooms rather than wasting a lot of half-height blocks. For every 1 full-size block is 2 half-height blocks. So I didn't want to do that and waste double the amount of wood. So I thought I would just go for the half height up to here, and then I would go for the full height then. So half height for the floor and a lot of the ceiling here, and then full height from here upwards. So that's my treehouse. Couple of little cubby holes, couple of little places. Come down here again. Got some beautiful places you can look out of and just watch all the nasties burn in the morning sun. Again, you can see the pillagers. It's a really, really nice area. I really like it. So now we're going to go back on the blue line and I'm going to take you to see what I've done so far of the yellow line. Don't expect a lot. There's not a lot on that yellow line currently. It is mainly just a yellow block and just a huge tunnel. But what I was hoping to do, and I don't think I'm going to be able to, I was hoping to sort of go under the water fully. So I'll show you from here. So my hope was to tunnel underneath all of this and to come up above the pillager's hut. But every time I've built something, it's mysteriously been destroyed. So I don't think I'm going to do that. So come down on the platform. Again, when I was building this area, I put a bed here and I had a chest here. The whole idea being as I could carry everything in my inventory that I needed to build, and I didn't have to go backwards and forwards. It's a really good way to build, I think. And therefore, when the night came, I could again go to sleep and sleep through until morning. So now we're going to go into a very privileged part, which is the high-speed yellow line. And nobody has seen this yet. You are the first people to see this. Not that you're going to see a lot, mind. But the idea being that you come down and there's the yellow line. Isn't that a lovely yellow? I think it's a lovely yellow. And it goes, you've guessed it, that way. And it goes that way for a long, and then it takes a left, I think, for double the amount, double the length of this. So, yeah. And then I've started building this as well, but that was bad because all I kept on coming across was just water. So I'm thinking of just flooding this and putting some glass up here and just having my own sort of internal, very, very thin pool. And then down here, I said to you I had a mine. This was it. So I got a lot of iron out of this, a ridiculous amount considering it's just a straight line. So I got a lot of iron out of that, and I'm eventually going to be pushing forward this way. Let's move that actually. I can move that up to there. And then let's see if I can, because when I was digging down, God, I came across so much iron. There we are, there's more of it. This place is full of iron. And what I wanted to do is prove to you how much iron that was here. And I broke in through like 2 or 3 blocks, and then there's iron. It is a ridiculously iron-heavy place, this is. And it's what helped build all of my railway tracks above ground. So if you see a railway track above ground, then chances are between the red line and the blue line, then it was all built from just mining in this straight line to come down to here. So I'm not going to mine for very much longer because I realise it is quite boring just watching somebody mine. But am I going to come across another iron vein? No. Okay, I'll leave it there. And I'll continue that at a later date. But I'm really quite chuffed that we found that much because coming down here, it was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I came up with 2 lots of 64 chunks of iron ore. Incredible. There were loads of coal up there as well. It's a really good place to mine, this is. A really good place to mine. So now we're going to leave the yellow line. What makes it high speed, I hear you ask? Well, I'm going to add 5 blocks of redstone powered rail for every 15 blocks of standard train track. So normally a redstone powered rail track can take you a ridiculous length. I'm going to estimate about 40 train tracks length on just one push until you stop. Maybe longer. Maybe I've been too conservative there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have 5 to 6 lengths of these powered rails here for every 10 to 15 normal rails. And the whole idea is that you pick up speed, you never lose it. So it just blasts you from one end to the other as fast as the game will allow. And that is the whole point. So now what we're going to do, we've seen everything here. We're going to jump back on the red line and we're going to go back to the black line and then back to Crossrail. So let's jump on that. Again, a nice ascent. Not ascent, sorry, a nice start. What am I talking about? And then we are just going to plough ahead and go back to the black line. I'm probably not going to stop this time around. I'm just going to go from point A to point B because you've seen everything. You've seen the glass. You've seen all the mining shafts I've created. If you haven't, have a little look back. Go back through the chapters and have a little look and see. On a nice day, you can see some dolphins playing in the water. Where are all my animals? Oh, there's a shoal of fish there. But here we go, back down as we hurtle towards the red line. I do like that I've added in the red. I know I've gone on about this a few times, but I'm going to do it again. The redstone blocks in the side to denote that you're on the red line. I really like those. It's a bit different. I've only done it, I think, on the black line and the red line. I don't think I've done it anywhere else. Oh, I've got an extra 2 blocks, haven't I, on the blue line. But yeah, I think it's quite nice. It's sort of in keeping. It's almost like because different rail operators in real life will operate different railways. So this is like that. This particular rail operator likes to have up the redstone to denote what track you're on. So let's get off. Again, let's check with the train inquiries. We need to get the cross rail. So we're going to get on the black line, which is here. And then we're going to have a nice slow start, turn the corner, and then accelerate a bit hard before we pass our disused station. Before we get to a maintenance platform. And then another part of my mine. Past the wood station. And then get to the platform is not in use platform. Before we then pull into the black line. Back at Crossrail. There we go. So there we have it. So that has been the black line to the wood line to the red line to the blue line to the yellow line. Now in the next video we're going to be looking at the white line to the silver line to the biocube. Alright then folks, thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time my friends, happy gaming.